seal everything. I was afraid to piss my pants, afraid she'd try and Euro seal my dick. I swear to God, she fucking used that thing on everything.
PTR Radio.
And welcome, everybody, to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Mike, I'm going to let you tell everybody a little bit about the show real quick while I finish a couple of startup things.
You slacker, throwing me on the bus like that. All right, this is PTR Radio. We are the #1 internet talk comedy show on the internet from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is done through, we know that because of official research that we've done by polling the people that we talk to in life. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Facebook. Hopefully you're watching us live on Facebook, commenting on monitoring the thread. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us, there's a whole lot of places you can catch us at, damn it. And once you catch us, we're like herpes. We're going to be all over your stuff. Promise you. No, we're really not.
Yep.
It was a very scientific poll. We polled everybody listening to PTR Radio and discovered that they were listening to PTR Radio. So using that poll and projecting, we figured out that 100% of people who are alive are listening to PTR Radio right now.
That's right.
It's about that easy. All right. Sorry about that. I'm trying something different tonight, folks. So you have to give me just a few to get everything situated, because it's the first time where we are simulcasting, Mike.
Oh, no.
We are on both YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, Lord.
So if you're watching on YouTube, this is the first time that we have tried to do this. Let us know how it is. You can comment in, and Mike will see them in the comment stream.
Oh, Lord.
So if you want to get into the YouTube chat, you can do that. I have made things as difficult as possible on Mike with the hopes that he will just have a nervous breakdown sometime.
Oh, that very well might happen anyway.
So this evening, we have lots to talk about, including, Olympics coverage. We have to finish up Olympics coverage.
Yes.
Yeah, it's finally over.
Yep. It is over, and, evidently the closing ceremony was something spectacular. I completely missed it. But evidently...
It was completely spectacular if you like...
If you like a guy with a guitar, I heard.
If you're into K-pop, it was amazing. If K-pop is something you've heard of, it was okay.
I did hear that was the best part of it. Or at least I saw headlines on the internet.
Psy didn't show up.
No. He did not.
He did not show up.
Okay, then that's about the extent of my K-pop knowledge, so.
That's pretty much the extent of my K-pop.
Now, did he not show up, or did he just not, was he not invited?
I doubt he was invited.
Because that's what I want to know.
But his song was the unofficial anthem of the entire Olympics. Played as the United States came in to the opening ceremonies. Was often being played during the actual competitions.
I was one of the first people to jump on the Psy Gangnam Style bandwagon.
Yes, you were, Mike.
And I will very quickly tell you that this guy needs to go. I completely understand now when singers say that they don't ever want to play a certain song again because they just get so sick and tired of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just so sick and tired of hearing Gangnam Style. And I didn't even watch a whole lot of the Olympics. It's like, okay, it's all been done. Let's just move on, all right?
Well, what I really enjoyed about this Olympics was how I was able to watch most of it online with the Olympic Broadcasting Service commentators instead of the usual U.S. commentators.
Well, the U.S. commentators got a lot of things wrong, and then they tried to backtrack it In particular, was it the downhill slalom that they completely screwed up?
Yeah, well,
because they called a winner before the game was over.
That would happen a lot just because they were showing different sports on different channels. So people were like watching it on NBC primetime and then being surprised that they could see online that somebody else won. Which if they'd been watching that sport on NBC Sports Channel, they would have seen that live.
Well, but
because NBC did go to great lengths to tell people periodically, if you want to watch this, it's over on that channel. If you want to watch this, it's on that channel. Here, we're going to be watching figure skating.
I just mean when they called who the gold medalist was before the competition was over.
Oh, that one's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So
everybody called that one.
So this was the Super G that I'm talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, this was... Yeah.
Now, most people don't call a race until it's over. You can say, most likely so-and-so is going to win. But they had all but put the medal around her neck.
Yes.
Okay, so let's put this in more like a real world, or an Olympic example from this year. If the final skier on women's half pipe was the chick from Hungary.
Oh, which, by the way, I learned more about that story. Okay,
yeah,
that is a brilliant story.
It is. So I think if she's the last to go,
yeah,
you can call it.
Then fine, start putting them up on the podium.
But if it's someone who's legitimately tried to compete, which is what happened in Super G. Now, granted, if you looked at like Vegas odds, I guarantee you that she probably wasn't even listed. She was probably in field.
Now, have you watched? So her name was Ledeca, right?
Yes.
Have you watched the video of the commentators from her own country?
No. That I have not.
They're laughing like they're having this conversation that she's going down. So I'd love to see the translation, but I get the sense that the people from her own country had already called the gold for the person before her.
Probably.
I wonder if I can find Czech commentators.
I mean, she was. She had never placed higher than like 19th.
Right.
And she was on somebody's old skis.
Well, yeah. Okay, so let's see here if we can hear this. All right, we're just going to play the audio.
We don't know if this video is correct or not.
Yeah, we have no idea. Plus, we get enough copyright infringements
anyway.
Might
be the correct one.
Okay.
But we'll see.
And of course, it's just spinning and spinning because this is supposedly NBC Olympics. So of course they're not going to have it. So let me look a little bit more. God, I wish more of this stuff was on just YouTube because I don't trust. Yeah, there. I'm not going to find it. Anyway, but yeah, it was just kind of crazy. But going back just real quick to the skier from Hungary. All right, now are you guys familiar with that story? And
yep.
Some people from the internet, maybe people who haven't heard this, and this is just from what I've heard from the news. All right. So this woman wanted to compete in the Olympics, but obviously doesn't have much talent. All right. But she's smart. Evidently, she knows how to work a system.
Yep.
Because to qualify for the Olympics, you have to finish in the top 30 of certain qualifying competitions to represent a country. She found out that Hungary didn't have any representation in the halfpipe. All right. So since her father was from Hungary, she could represent that country. And
she had dual citizenship.
She had dual citizenship. And she found competitions in countries where there was something else going on that day, big in the country or in the area, so that there wouldn't be many competitors in the qualifiers that she competed in. In fact,
and she also found competitions in countries that the top stars were avoiding, like China.
Mm-hmm. So
and she basically cherry picked the competitions that she was going to compete in.
In particular, she found competitions that had less than 30 participants.
And all she had to do was not fall.
Yeah. So in order to finish in the top 30, yeah, all she had to do was finish.
Yes.
Which is great. That's what you want, you know, in it. So, I mean, it was perfect.
There's people who are complaining about this, but I'm sure that they're the same people who have no problems with the nearly naked guy who basically did the same thing to get in cross country.
Yeah, Tonga.
Yeah, the Tonga guy.
The Tonga guy.
Have you? So his thing is, he wants to be in the next Olympics too, but in yet another sport.
Oh, he's not going to try Taekwondo again?
He wants to be the first person to be in 3 consecutive Olympics in 3 different sports.
That's just, I don't know.
You know what?
Well, next Olympics, skateboarding's in. So maybe he can just hop on a board.
True. That's going to be difficult.
Well, but maybe Tonga doesn't have any skateboards. So he could do a Back to the Future, grab a scooter, you know, pop off the handhold, and just go down the pipe. Maybe. You never know. There's no modern cars in Cuba.
I'm just saying it's probably going to be harder to find skateboard events that have less than 30 people like you could for snowboarding.
Let's see here.
Because there's a lot more people on skateboards than snowboards.
But maybe he can find some YMCA events. You never know. I mean,
no, they have to be official skateboard events, not.
Oh, look, the village of Puke is the home of Tonga's first purpose-built skateboard ramp. He could go and learn in Puke.
What's the date on that?
August 12th, 2016.
Yeah, if it was 18, I'd say, actually, Shaggy, you might be onto something. But a couple years ago, I was almost.
It was created by an American family who moved to Tonga. So maybe Tongans don't know about skateboards. It's entirely possible. Maybe we taught them skateboarding like, you know, Kevin Bacon taught basketball.
Yeah.
You never know.
So those are going to be the Olympics in Tokyo.
Yes.
Which means it'll be pretty much the same.
And then we'll have the Olympics next in L.A.? Or, no, Dallas.
Technically Beijing.
Okay. Those are the next Winter Games. But don't we have another game coming up? And then the Summer Games, is that in Dallas? Because I know Dallas and L.A. were chosen. And they were chosen at the same time because evidently there's a problem. Surprise, surprise. With the Olympics locations. It is not worth it to host the Olympics.
2024 will be in Paris, France.
Mike, you look worried. Is there a problem?
LA.
Oh no, I'm just checking the feeds on my phone to see how they're going along because no comments are coming in, so I was just checking.
Okay.
Los Angeles is in 10 years.
Los Angeles is in 10 years. All right, what about Dallas? Because I thought Dallas was coming up. I thought we had back-to-back in the U.S. or something.
No, the back-to-backs were Paris and Los Angeles. They were chosen simultaneously.
Oh, okay. But that's because they were the only two that bid for the next round of Summer Olympics, I think.
No, I don't think it was because they were the only ones who bid. I think it was partially because they were both very good bids. And so instead of pissing everybody off, what they decided to do was make a deal and say, look, we'll choose both of you. One will be in 2024, the other be 2028.
Well, because I was reading a pretty compelling argument. Because we've covered abandoned Olympic villages before.
It's a very true statement that the Olympics are expensive.
Apparently, making a comment that I'm not getting any comments is the best way to get comments. Because there you go.
All right.
Thank you, folks.
So my aunt is eating pizza,
and your mom is listening. So that's good. So we've got the Blair contingency listening. You know,
the Blurvins.
Yes. You know, it was kind of funny because the one time that I went on a trip, because we went down to St. Louis to see comedians. I'm like, it's like I'm an unofficial Blair, and both your sisters piped up and said, well, we're not really Blairs anymore. I said, yes, you are, and so are your husbands. So it was... Mike, I know you're not a Doctor Who fan, but it's just like Rory.
I am a Doctor Who fan. You can...
I thought that maybe your hatred of British television expanded to all British television, you know?
Okay, since British television was brought up.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Oh, no, okay. I know where you're going. Okay.
Yeah,
but I got something on that, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just talk about the death pool.
Okay.
Yep. We had movement in the death pool. We had first strikes in the death pool since our last show.
Yes, we did.
By the way, if you're interested in the death pool, just go to ptrradio.com, look in the menu, and go to Death Pool 2018.
Reverend Billy Graham passed away.
And immediately, the power of referral.
Yes, shows up.
Yes.
Right there, Mama Blair into first place because of that referral point.
Somebody had.
Followed by Spider Chicken and the Glacier. So, you know, we always talk about referral points can mean all the difference in the world. Here, it just shows you that that is 100% true. So, you know, and then an honorable mention that wasn't on the death pool. I think that's probably where you were going.
Yes.
As a British actress passed away that my wife actually told me about, and then we had somebody else tell us about online. I don't think terribly familiar with her work.
No, the Vicar of Dibley is one of the absolute best Britcoms of all time.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched Vicar of Dibley, I do highly recommend it. I have no idea, Mike, on you. But Shaggy should definitely watch Vicar of Dibley. Now, it should also be said about the death pool, we do have at least one dead person pictured in the death pool, but that's because it's the wrong picture.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'm not surprised. Sure.
Because somebody has Jerry Lee Lewis, the singer, but we have a picture of Jerry Lewis, the dead actor.
Yeah, well, you know.
Just letting people know that we know.
Yep. Listen, things do get screwed up. All right. But, so, yes, we did have the first strike.
Yep.
There have been a couple of other deaths too, but nothing really notable. Now, as far as Doctor Who is concerned, well, the thing that I actually want to say, I was hopping around YouTube today, and this is how I'm going to get from Doctor Who to where I was going.
Okay.
And I found a video that I guess David Tennant did when he was still portraying the Doctor, and it's all the producers, cast, crew, everything from multiple seasons of Doctor Who while he was the Doctor, lip syncing to the Proclaimers' 500 Miles.
Huh.
It's the entire song. And for some reason, that just brought a big smile to my face. But then on the side, it says something. Does Elon Musk hate Top Gear or something?
Oh, well, there was a lawsuit because of their review of, was it the first or the second generation Tesla?
It was the Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
So they tested the Tesla Roadster, and as they like to do, they basically lied. They pretended that the Tesla Roadster ran out of electricity while they were driving it. Tesla knew that it didn't run out of power when they were driving it because it was their Roadster, and they had all the logs. So they could see that the Roadster never ran out of power. They just decided to pretend it did for dramatic purposes.
Okay.
So they sued. They lost.
Yeah.
And then recently on Grand Tour, Clarkson tested for the first time the Tesla X, in which case he drove around in the Tesla X with a car full of lawyers telling him what not to say.
I haven't watched that episode yet. I'm slowly getting caught up.
I'll say the season was okay. The last episode was awful. Yes.
Yes. So I know there's several things that need to be corrected in the death pool. I've already talked to the guys here, and that will get rectified shortly. Just haven't had time, unfortunately. I've been too busy planning the website redesign.
Ooh.
And part of tonight was getting some things tested for that website redesign. Being able to simulcast to YouTube was a big part of it. Because, as I think I might have mentioned before, when we're live, we want you to be able to see that right on the front page. Facebook doesn't make it easy. YouTube makes it very easy. So if we can simulcast, then life is better. So that's what I want to be able to do.
Yeah.
So we want you to be able to see it, and that means I have to publish one less thing when the episode's done. Because right now I have to upgrade a 3 gig file to YouTube after we're done with the show, just so that I can get the show up there, as well as on Facebook. So, this will.
So wait, simulcasting doesn't make the recording?
No, it will now. But before, when we were just on Facebook, in order to get the episode also up on YouTube, I had to upload my archive.
I'm with you now. Okay.
So, that takes a little bit of time. And yeah, we're trying to streamline things.
I mean, you have time.
Yeah, I have nothing but time. Sure, we'll go with that. Some of you might have noticed the green screen behind Colin and I. That is yet another thing that we were trying out. Unfortunately, I was trying it out right before the show, and we decided that we weren't going to try something like that out right before the show. I was successful to be able to put me on a beach. Colin, less successful so, because if you'll notice, there's some gaps in the green screen. So Colin wasn't able to be on Mars like he requested. He goes, please put me in space. So
here's my question. If I put my green screen up, are you going to be able to put me places?
Actually, yes, I could.
Okay.
Yes, I could.
Okay. So these are the kinds of things you need to clue me in on, so that I can have the green screen put up.
Yep.
It actually be very easy. Using some of Colin's favorite binder clips, and I'll be good to go.
Yeah. So. But yeah, we'll be able to do that, and so that we're all just trying out different things with the broadcast software that we're running, and learning different techniques. Actually, the green screen was from I did a couple of training videos, and I decided instead of people seeing my messy office, I would like them to see me on a beach. So I did that, and I had some guy ask me, he goes, "Do you have a green screen in your office?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So, that was kind of nice. All right. But as a side effect of that, since we are not projecting the actual pictures behind us right now, if you are able and you want to, feel free to put Colin and I wherever you feel like in post.
Oh, hell.
So, if you want to do a screen capture and green screen us somewhere, I guess that is your prerogative. See, Mike, that is the downside to right now not running the green screen stuff, because we made it really easy for them. So, all right. Moving back to topics for tonight. Now, later on during the second hour, towards the end of the show, we're going to be reviewing 2 movies like we normally do. This evening, we have the 2017 version of The Saint and the 2017 movie Where's the Money? Both films from Netflix.
Yes. One of them you probably haven't seen. The other one you've probably seen many times.
In different versions.
Yes.
So, I actually wrote my my reviews for this evening, so we're going to go there. Now, let's talk about neighborhoods. Mr. Rogers had a neighborhood. Everybody has a neighborhood. I have recently been trolling my neighborhood because I think it's fun. I may have talked about this a little bit last time, but
you mentioned that you had found it.
Yes,
but I don't think you'd gone very far with it.
So my wife thinks this is extremely childish and that it will get me knocked off of the neighborhood billboard, and you know what? I'm okay with that. If that's if those people don't have enough of a sense of humor, that these types of things get me kicked off. then that's fine. And if you were following us on YouTube or on Twitter, you may have already seen these. But here's one that I... oh, actually, hold on. I'm not going to show this one because this is the second one. I want to show the first one. First one first, second one second. That's the way that it works. So the first one first here. Someone wrote today at 9:48 hours, black cat caught on security camera with white feet. Now this was just after some people had stolen stuff off of porches. So obviously you can see the thread here. My comment, saw the cat as well and then noticed things missing from my porch. Cops took my description, but obviously no paw prints because it was wearing gloves. Thanks for the photo. I will let you know if they report anything back.
Yeah, see, you sent us the link about trolling and it wanted me to go through a whole thing about signing up. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
Now, the second one, I was very impressed with myself on this one. Because, again, people asking dumb questions. Or things that are just busybody-ish. And so I have interesting answers for.
Yeah. You bring it up.
Yeah.
I will clarify a few things for other people.
Okay. Because some people might not know.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and read it.
So, Laura asking, new building on Wabash, which is a major street here. I noticed the other day they were building something by Dick Van Dyke, which is a local appliance store.
Yes, it's local, not Dick Van Dyke himself.
Yes.
He wasn't standing over there by the Showplace 12, which is the movie
theater.
Yeah, that's not a landmark of...
Yeah.
There's another Dick Van Dyke who started a appliance store many years ago.
Yep. Does anyone know what it's going to be? Thanks. Now, I thought, okay, busybody here. Wait till a sign goes up. Terrence, in my same vein, said something bland and god-awful. I wrote, I heard something about it being a Lion's Den outlet store. Not sure what that is. Haven't heard of that brand before. Gander Mountain didn't do so well, so not sure it'll last. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with what a Lion's Den is... If you've ever driven the highways, you might have seen billboards for them. It is an adult toy emporium.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
Yes.
Neither have I. What the hell kind of parts of town are you driving through, man?
Virginia, West Virginia, Atlanta, Tennessee, Kentucky.
Okay, so...
drive.
All of these places that are far away from where you're speaking of.
But no, trust me, anybody that's used to traveling around this area, also familiar with what they are. So, in fact, one guy actually replied back and said what it was. And someone else said, well, how do you know what it is?
I mean, So I'm not part of any of those groups, right? Or that page, but I'm part of community pages like town groups on Facebook. And some of them, the one group, it seems like every other week someone is asking who has the best chicken wings in town.
Because that's really neighborhood specific, Mike.
Who has the best Chinese food?
Mm-hmm.
Why are their shoes nailed to the poles along Journey Mill Road? And this is like a weekly occurrence.
Oh yeah. Here's one from today. All right. Now you have to understand where I live is surrounded by cornfields. All right. And the corn has been harvested. It's not like it's around anymore. Be aware, I spotted several deer along Hazel Dell just past Hazel Crest entrance all the way to Westlake. Both sides. Just be aware, it's been a while since I've seen them. Now, even my wife, who told me to knock it off, said she felt like writing them back and saying, no crap, they're always there. Open your eyes. And I said, well, I felt like saying I saw Sasquatch.
And apparently there is one close to you. Okay.
So
some of the other ones, there's a Lowe's department or a hardware store that has been closed for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know if thread goes up, why is it still closed? They should put this or they should put that or that. So then you get 700 opinions about what should go in here.
Yep.
By all these people that don't want to drive one town over to where they're referring they want, or what they're saying they want built. Let's see. This person found a piece of plastic and some veiny chicken at their order from Panera Bread. So that has to go up. Looking for a reasonable plumber. This is another one that comes, or somebody to landscaper, trees, you name it. These are all questions that are asked on a weekly basis.
They've never heard of Yelp before.
Or they've never... I actually made a video, screen capped video, step by step, showing how to search in the group. And I posted it. And one of the admins of this group pinned it. It is now the first post you see when you log on to this group.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, means people think I'm an admin in this group, which I am not. I had to go back and edit the post. Look, I'm not an admin. Stop messaging me telling me that somebody's calling somebody a racist. Leave me alone. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Shaggy, I will say...
And you get... hold on one second. Daily, almost daily, if not every other day, you get the free scrap pickup. I will haul off any unwanted metal items.
Oh, now see, this group is not allowed... You're not allowed to advertise in this group.
Well, see, evidently you are, because I'm getting a ton of advertisements here, and I had a thought.
Uh-huh.
Where else better to advertise PTR Radio as a local source for news? You know? How much more local could we be than in the neighborhood?
I don't know if I want your neighbors listening to it. I'm afraid if when I leave here and I have to go back to my car, then it'll be egged.
Oh, it has been. There have been eggings and dog backings. So, you know.
So I was going to say, Gander Mountain, not the best example.
Probably not, but, you know.
Since they're like going to reopen in the next month or two.
But I was just trying to play.
Well, I understand.
I thought Lion's Den outdoor shop maybe. So I was looking for one that had closed.
Yeah.
You know, making them think that I was stupid. Which I am stupid in a totally different way. You know. So yeah.
No, I realize now as I'm thinking about this. There's something you want to know. So I actually had a discussion recently. Someone insisting that Gander Mountain wasn't coming back. And I had to insist back, no, Gander Mountain is coming back. So I'm looking forward to winning that argument. Or losing. Fun either way.
Yep.
So,
anyway, I just wanted to share that in case you guys don't follow us on Twitter. I do tend to post those on Twitter, so if I have another opportunity, you know, that's where we'll go. So, Mike, you are kind of a purveyor of reality television. Is that true?
I guess out of the three of us, I would be the closest to that, but okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, you posted an article here about a show that I've actually not really heard of called 90 Day Fiancé. Oh,
well, this is one that Kim and I watched because it's like a train wreck. It's like TLC's version of by the way, I don't know when TLC I thought TLC stood for the Learning Channel.
Well, for a while we thought it was the Midget Channel.
Well, yes.
You know.
So 90 Day Fiancé is a show, it's kind of like Mail Order Bride.
Yeah.
Basically. And you meet, and then 90 days later, you're supposed to get married. That's it. All right? That's the whole premise of the show.
Wow. That is quick.
This guy, George Nava, and his Russian or Lithuanian bride.
Oh, the best kind.
Which, I'm going to pull up the article because I don't remember her name.
Anfisa Nava?
Anfisa
Arkapchenko.
Right? Anfisa, first of all, when you hear this girl talk, all right, if you read the article, when she was on the show, she pretty much said she wanted a $10,000 a month monthly allowance from him.
Oh.
Expensive shoes, bags, and a car, and plastic surgery so she could become a model.
Well, I don't know if the pictures on TMZ are pre or post surgery.
Okay, but I can tell you this frame from the video is pre.
Okay.
The ones along the bottom,
yeah.
That middle one is definitely post.
Well, that is a good doctor. That's all I'm going to say is money well spent, sir.
Yeah, not just on the body, but those whatever they did to the lips. That definitely
they pulled something out or they moved some stuff around in all the right places.
So this popped up in my news feed, and I can't say I'm surprised with this kind of demands. I mean, she was the ultimate gold digger. He was not a prize. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, he looked like one of us.
Right? He got busted trying to sell 300 pounds of weed in Arizona.
Oh. That's a lot of weed, I think. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that's a lot of weed.
It's enough to warrant multiple felony counts.
Yeah.
Including possession, transportation, and intent to sell.
I don't think you can say that's for personal medicinal use. Much.
I mean, it's just too bad it wasn't New Mexico in an RV, because that would be that'd be awesome.
I think there's a slight difference between meth and weed. I am not an experienced druggie, but I got a feeling.
Yeah.
I thought Carlin was referring to We're the Millers, not Breaking Bad.
I was going Breaking Bad.
I only know one show that has an RV that would be referenced.
But see, this couple stood out because, to my knowledge, this was the only one where the guy was American and the bride was from another country. There may have been one more, but most of the time, the girl is American and the guy is from another country. And I don't think a single one of these has worked out well, surprise, surprise.
Well, I like some of the comments on the TMZ post. D. Hart says, what an ass, both of them, the wife for a different reason. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap says, she had the face of a mutt and the personality of a vulgar Kardashian, which I can't imagine such a thing. Coily Q says, men are stupid, the end. The girl told you she only wanted you for the money, yet you were okay with that. Men are dumb. You know, I just, that is a pretty lonely. That guy was really lonely, is what it was. I won't even say that he was dumb. He was extremely lonely. You know, and loneliness will drive you to do dumb things, even if you're not a dumb person.
Okay.
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Lonely, well, I guess it all depends on what your level of stupidity is. Because, you know, there have been times where I've been pretty lonely. And I've called up and talked to a pizza place to find out what exactly was in their sauce, just to speak to somebody.
Well, I mean, I think this guy really thought that he had no hope, and he couldn't deal with that fact. So, I mean, he went on a show called 90 Day Fiancé, and he was okay with being set up with the gold digger. So he's not the most mentally stable person in the first place. So
now, I actually had a coworker.
Oh, okay. This one may not. so the whole thing here is not coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read this. Unfortunately, one of my Facebook friends, who's a dear, sweet older lady, tuned into a PTR broadcast when Mike was driving and being free and easy with his language. For that reason, I don't think neighborhood news would be a good fit for PTR. Sure. So blame the old man of the group. Okay.
I think it just depends on the neighborhood. Maybe I should sign up to some other parts of this town, and then we'd be just fine.
Sure. So I actually had a coworker who spent some time in Europe and came back to the United States with a Ukrainian bride.
Okay.
Not anything like that.
Right.
But we'll say what was interesting was he needed suggestions for a dentist. I sent him to my dentist, who had a lot of fun going in and replacing Eastern European dentistry with modern U.S. dentistry.
Well, yeah, I mean...
So I just want to say...
I'm not...
We see a lot of this stuff like on this show.
Yeah.
And in general, I do see a lot of jokes and have seen a lot of jokes about Ukrainian, Eastern European brides. But I just want to say... I actually had personal experience of someone who had it work out.
I'm not saying there are no success stories.
Oh, no.
All right, there definitely are some success stories. But, you know, I think this show in particular, this particular couple, is one step away from mail order bride.
No, that is not one step. That is mail order bride.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just don't think that this was set up to fail to benefit the broadcasting company.
Okay. Yeah. This show has actually been on for 5 seasons.
My God.
So, and each season, season 1 was 4 couples. Season 2 was 6. Season 3 was 6. Season 4, which is where George and Anfisa were featured, only 5 couples. One of which the couples didn't even meet.
Well, the show Married at First Sight, which I can assume is similar.
That one's even different.
Is now on season 6.
Married at First Sight is completely crazy because they don't even meet. Literally, the first time that they get to speak to each other is at the wedding.
I wonder what their success rate is.
Just not.
Let's see here.
That just isn't right.
I just wonder how many are still married. All right, so we see 1 out of season 1, 2 out of season 1, 3 out of season 1. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of season 2. 1, 2.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at 90 Day Fiancé or the other ones?
No, Married at First Sight.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, okay. Well, and this is a fairly recent article. It's February, updated today, actually. Couldn't get any fresher than that.
Okay, so season 1 of 90 Day Fiancé. The 4 couples, as of 2017, still together. Mm-hmm. Season 2, divorced, together, divorced, together. So 50-50. Season 3, don't know, still together, still together, still together, still together, still together. So one of them, what's the story with them? Oh, dear Lord. Mark, who is 58 from Baltimore, and Nikki, who is 19 from the Philippines, met on an online dating site. He owns a piano rental business. What?
Who rents a piano? Well, I mean, I know who rents a piano. People that are doing talent shows.
Mark's daughter was uncomfortable with the relationship because she was a year older than Nikki.
Oh, man.
All right,
sounds
so
like
let's
Trump stuff going on.
Okay.
So regardless, this doesn't seem like a great idea.
No.
Although, I don't know, it's got the same divorce rate as everything every other way, so...
But seriously, TLC, what's going on here?
Yeah, what happened to TLC?
What happened to learning? Well...
Okay, they haven't been the learning channel since 1998, shows what I know.
This is where idiocracy starts. When did So what is this, the living channel now?
No, but now it's just TLC, and 2008 is when they started. They rebranded themselves. Their tagline is "Life Surprises," and they're listing John and Kate Plus 8, which was the highest rated program on TLC back in the day. Mm-hmm. Little People, Big World, 17 Kids and Counting, which then became 18 Kids and then 19 Kids and Counting. God damn! Stop! Just stop. Table for 12, which is another, let's just have as many kids as possible. Toddlers and Tiaras, which led the world to know who Honey Boo Boo is.
Yep.
And then you also had Cake Boss, and I mean...
Did they also do the dance thing? Did they also do the Dance Academy place?
No.
Okay. Well...
No, their original programming is Seven Little Johnstons, which is Midget Family. And I know that's not politically correct, but I'm sorry. Breaking Amish, which is a fake. Cake Boss, which I think is now actually off the air. Counting On, which is the follow-up to 19 Kids and Counting ever since the whole scandal. I Am Jazz, which is about the transgender high school child, because I'm not sure which way it went. I think male to female, which is fine, whatever. Little People, Big World. Long Island Medium, which is pretty much done because they're getting divorced.
Yeah.
My 600-Pound Life. This is the ultimate, I can't watch this because I'm supposed to go to sleep, and now I need to find out what happens to this person.
Well, they get cut out of a couch so that they can get out of the door. Or they break down a wall.
Say Yes to the Dress. We forgot about that. That's still going on.
Very important. We can't forget about dresses. So, interesting, for those of you that aren't familiar with TLC, it started in 1972 and lasted until 80 is their early history. And get this, here's how it started. This is how the world declines. Mike just explained to you where we are. Let me tell you where we started. The channel was founded in 1972 by the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare and NASA as the Appalachian Community Service Network, and was an informative and instructional network focused on providing real education through the medium of television. It was distributed at no cost by NASA satellite. So look at how far we have fallen in 28 years. Or 38 years. That is ridiculous.
And not that it matters, apparently Cake Boss is in the middle of season 10.
So, which I would say is the last educational show on that network.
No, it's so far from educational at this point.
It's the closest thing that they have.
And, okay, Dance Moms is on Lifetime.
Okay, that hasn't been in about... The only thing they're good for is the Golden Girls.
And I'm going to hate myself for even bringing this up. Ellen DeGeneres is developing a film based on Dance Moms.
Oh, good Lord.
Why?
Well, she's so good at dancing.
Listen, Hollywood should just shut down and just... Everybody jump on the Black Panther bandwagon here.
Oh, my goodness.
I've incorporated that as part of one of my reviews.
Now, have you watched Black Panther? Did you go to see it?
Oh, I did.
Okay. Well, you didn't call. I'd have gone with you.
One of my parents.
All right. I see how it is.
Go play safe.
See, you're not a Blair anymore.
Nope.
Ride's over, pal.
I should have thought of, well,
Yes, there was. My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
Yes.
Just side note, which Mike probably won't care about. Have you been to the renovated theater yet?
Not yet, but I do love the controversy about them maybe serving alcohol.
Who cares about the alcohol?
Love that one.
Recliners.
Yep.
Recliners are where it's at.
Well, that's old hat. Every theater around here has recliners now.
Yeah, not here though. We're too busy being self-righteous.
The thing I love about all the theaters having recliners now is it's assigned seating. So at the one theater, if Kim and I are going, we can pick. We know that on the right side of the theater, yes, we're kind of off axis, but it's only 2 seats. So we can pick a row, and we have all to ourselves, and we have an aisle, we have a wall, and we have nobody next to us.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Interestingly enough, though, I came across an article, talking about the guy with the had to sell weed so that his high maintenance 90-day fiance would stay with him. I found an article about yet another dating site, Mike. We've talked about several dating sites through the run of this show. Farmers Only, J-Date. I think we actually, as weird as it sounds, found one for Amish people. We have found one for disabled folks. We have found, if you name it, there's one for African Americans. You name it, there is a dating site for it, and now they have expanded, not just for your race, creed, color, ethnicity, whatever you want to call it. Now, your political viewpoints, Mike. Now you can go to Trump.dating or TrumpSingles.com. If you happen to be a right-leaning Republican, they have the site for you. If your bumper sticker reads MAGA, or, has a big picture of an elephant, that is, or, whatever, that is the site for you. Let me tell you this, they are taking it serious. I believe even in Trump.dating, you are not allowed to put, I'm a male searching for a male. No, they won't allow you to even search for that. Nope, you got to be a red-blooded American searching for another red-blooded American of the opposite sex. They won't allow it, Mike.
What if I have a MAGA sticker on the back of my truck, but it means make apples go away?
No. No.
Now, what I said is, I need a dating site that'll let me find anybody who is not on any of these sites. And I want to make very clear my reasoning for saying that, okay?
I want to make it very clear that I am not signing up for these, and you are not to sign me up for these. Colin, I
already made that clear.
No, I know, and listen, I am a proponent. No. You want to do it, that's fine. You want help, you can ask. You are not Sheldon Cooper. We're not doing this.
Right.
We're not.
I wasn't going to find him his Amy Farrah Fowler, against his will. But
but anyway, my point is not that I don't want to find people who are followers of Trump. If there was a, what's the name of the thing again?
Trump Singles.
Okay, if there was an ObamaSingles.com, I would like them excluded as well. Basically, anybody whose sense of self is so tied into what political party and person they follow that they only want to find other people who that think exactly like they are. I don't understand those people.
I've lost some Facebook friends because I've expressed that very opinion.
I so much wanted to do a post regarding the fallout and the all the vitriol that's coming out of the web regarding what should be done to prevent another Florida mass shooting.
Oh God, okay? No.
I've wanted to do a post, but I haven't. All right, and the gist of the post was going to be, if you think your side is the only right side, please unfriend me now, because there is no correct side. All right, but I haven't. I had one written, and then I went and deleted it because I'm like, this is going to take me down a path I don't want to go down. All right. Because we are all, I think, middle of the road people. We're all very logical. I think we're all basically the party of common sense. You know, I think for the most part we all agree on that. You know, and so you're right, Colin. We don't want a site that goes one direction or the other direction.
Yeah.
You know. So no.
Well, wait a second. Wait. Well, we would like to be able to control, you know, get your straight.
Well, yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with either one, but that's one area that those interests probably shouldn't intermix.
Well, let me just
not
put
in the
it this
dating
way.
pool anyway.
Just like politics, you're not going to be able to convince somebody to go to the other side.
Well, no, Colin. I believe this comment is directed at you.
Well.
I think the gist of it is, what if you go through all that trouble and then suddenly they become that person that you so did not want them to be?
Well, I think
that's for the future to figure out. My point is that if you've put yourself inside a box and said, I only want people who believe that inside this box is correct, then if I meet them outside of the box and then later they go into the box, well, that's a different problem.
I have a feeling that you know, we have those topics that you don't discuss. All right, sex, politics, and religion. All right, and the rule is you don't discuss those in general company. All right, but if you are getting to the point where you're saying, "Hey, here's the date. Let's plan everything," you have probably discussed most of that.
Yeah,
with that person. All right, you have at least you have an inkling. All right, let's put it this way: you aren't going to walk up with your MAGA sticker ready to put it on her bumper, and there's going to be a Hillary Rocks sticker there. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I can't imagine you're going to be that wrong. All right. So, you know.
Sorry, my watch started talking to me.
I thought Colin was getting messages going, get off this topic, quick.
No, but I looked about my car, my phone, and my watch is saying something about how using iPhone you can control the wipers on your car. And I was like, what? Okay, so now we're about half an hour out from our movie reviews.
Yes, we are.
So now is probably a good time to announce where we're going to be July 25th.
July 25th. Where are we going to be? I don't know.
Live tweeting Sharknado 6.
Yes, I did. Yes, I kind of did know that.
Wait, what? I didn't even know this. What?
I did hear
that. Put it up on Slack.
I did hear that. Well, actually, I was following, you know, all the big stars of Sharknado.
Ah, yes. Okay. And, I didn't see the date. That's it. I just saw.
And so I was seeing what's her face? I can't remember her damn name. You know, tweeting that she was basically doing. They were filming right now.
So
Tyra Banks. No, not Tyra Banks.
When is
somebody?
So 25th.
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid. No. Yes.
Okay.
So things we know is that there'll be Finn will be riding on Noah's Ark, facing off against dinosaurs, and will fight Nazis.
Yes.
What'd you say? July
25th.
A Wednesday night?
Really? That is a weird time for a debut.
Oh no! Wednesday nights are no good for 8-Man. Oh no!
So I'm double checking the date on that. July 25th. Yeah, that's when it says. Expect to arrive on July 25th.
That is a weird date for a Sharknado premiere.
Is there something else going on that we don't know about in July? Is there like a Lavalantula 3 coming out? That is a Wednesday. Boy, that is a weird date. Why did we... Time-nado is what they're calling it.
Why? What? Oh, no.
And of course, there are emoticons for sharks and tornadoes and stopwatches.
When did the last one premiere?
It was on a Saturday or on a Sunday. I can't remember.
Maybe they got the date wrong.
You think they really got the date wrong on an official tweet? So Sharknado 5 was August 6th, 2017. It was on a weekend.
Yeah, it was just Saturday or... Oh, no.
It was on a Sunday night last time. So, well, what Mike is saying through his grunt is that it could be a two-person tweet fest.
Depending on what time it's on. Oh, no.
So, yeah. So evidently, yeah. Ian Ziering and Tara Reid will return as Finn in April. Oh, damn. That is loud.
There are good reasons for me to miss going to the shelter on a Wednesday night.
This is not one of them.
Being able to live tweet Sharknado. This is how I know the wife's not listening, because there's been no reply to this yet. That
will get you in trouble.
All right, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it, and hopefully somebody at Sci-Fi realizes. Yeah, no, this is no.
Why would I don't know why they would premiere on a Wednesday night. What is going on around that time? So, but yeah, that does look interesting. Now, on that same vein, there was a big, talking about movies, there was a big to-do and overreaction recently regarding a movie called Red Sparrow. Now, Colin, did you hear about this or see this?
I only saw it because you posted it up.
Okay, so Jennifer Lawrence, we will show this. I think we can show this picture online. That should be fine. Jennifer Lawrence and the rest of the cast took this picture as a promotional photo that they tweeted out, and Facebook and all the other social medias, in anticipating its release. Red Sparrow is, well, it's kind of a Black Widow story-ish type thing. Basically,
yeah.
It's the Soviet Union's female assassin program. And so there was a big controversy over that photo. And as you saw it, it was because it was taken in England, London, and the men were all dressed in coats, in very, sturdy. Here we go, better picture. In very what looked like warm coats and pants, and looked like they were very comfortable. Meanwhile, Jennifer Lawrence is in this very skimpy dress. And according to the public, it was close to around 30 degrees outside. And they're like, obviously this is Hollywood sexism run amok. Look at her barely wearing anything. Meanwhile, those guys who don't have to show off anything, they're allowed to be warm. And there was a huge tweet fest about this when it went out. I mean, it was ridiculous. Because everybody has to have an opinion. And they have to have an opinion whether you ask for them to have an opinion or not. But nobody bothered to ask Jennifer Lawrence before they started tweeting. So you get things like this. Okay, now someone take the same photo, only Jennifer Lawrence gets pants, boots, and a jacket, and the men have to wear low-cut, sexy gowns. So they're putting this under the banner of the Me Too and the Time's Up movement.
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, not even asking the person that was involved here. They're just outraged on her behalf. Because obviously,
triggered!
Per the photo, she couldn't have had any choice in this. The men must have forced her into that gown and then said, get your ass outside. We got pictures to take. Except for Jennifer Lawrence tweeted late Wednesday night that this was happening. Wow, I don't really know where to get started on this. Jennifer Lawrence wearing a revealing dress in the cold controversy. This is not only utterly ridiculous, I am extremely offended. That Versace dress was fabulous. You think I'm going to cover that gorgeous dress up with a coat or a scarf? I was outside for 5 minutes. I would have stood in the snow for that dress because I love fashion and that was my choice. This is sexist. That is ridiculous. This is not feminism. Overreacting about everything someone says or does, creating controversy over silly, innocuous things such as what I choose to wear or not wear is not moving us forward. It's creating silly distractions from real issues. Get a grip, people. Everything you see me wear is my choice, and if I want to be cold, that's my choice too. But
yeah,
obviously this is the internet, and she was either made to say that, or she has no idea what the movement is really about. Because people wanted to instruct her on what feminism really is and what the cause is really about, and that she should be embracing what people were saying, and she shouldn't be concerned with the way that she looks, and oh my God.
So in other words, they're womansplaining her.
Yeah. It is dumb. Just because you have a keyboard and a mouse doesn't mean that you get to tell somebody else how to feel. All right? Unless you happen to have a microphone and you can do it on a stream like we do. All right? Then you're given an opinion. All right? If you don't like it, get your own show. It's very easy. We've shown that for 15 plus years. All right? Obviously, I'm joking. All right? But, it's just ridiculous.
No, we express our opinions.
Yeah.
But we also realize that we could be wrong.
Yeah.
And if people disagree with us, okay. As long as you can disagree with me all you want about anything, as long as you can explain why. All right? If you tell me that hockey is a stupid sport. Okay, why is it stupid? Well, I don't understand it. Okay, that's not a reason why it's stupid. That's a reason why you're stupid.
Yeah, then you would go along to explain it to them and say, well, my wife didn't understand curling. And I said, well, it's shuffleboard,
Basically, yeah. Well, what are the brooms for? Well, that changes the surface of the ice so that it controls how the stones curve or how fast or slow they go. Oh. Then it all makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, because they don't actually know.
Yeah, I mean they don't get it because they can't visualize it. But
for curling, they actually don't know what makes the stones curl.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Stop.
And pee in our Cheerios.
Yes,
but we were making a point.
Now, if you're going to make a point about curling, you better have Mr. T in there too.
Okay. It's a thing. She explained it just fine. All right, she wasn't outraged.
No,
nobody was outraged.
She wore the dress because she thought it was a beautiful dress, and she's proud of who she is. So
and I have to say that dress was beautiful. It was great. If I had the figure, I'd wear that dress. All right.
Okay, now
look great.
If these feminists really want something to latch onto, can we please talk about how the national anthem is supposed to be sung, whether it's by a man or a woman? How come when a woman sings it, there seems to be more of an issue?
Well,
Fergie.
Now, what Mike is referring to, if you haven't heard it, I will bring up a clip.
Can you see
And we'll skip ahead. I mean, it is sensual would be the right word, I think.
What did I say? When you brought it up, when you posted the link, I said I only had to listen to 30 seconds of it, and immediately I saw Kari Werher in the second season of Remote Control singing like Marilyn Monroe. And you don't do that to the national freaking anthem, okay?
But let's be honest, there have been worse.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, if you say Roseanne, I'm going to end this show right now because that was a national treasure.
Roseanne was a national treasure.
But the interesting thing is not how Roseanne sung the national anthem. The interesting thing is that Roseanne criticized Fergie singing the national anthem.
Well, and here's the thing. All right, in Roseanne's defense,
they should have never asked her in the first place.
She said, "Do you know what you're asking me to do? I'm not a singer." All right, and so when she agreed to it, she assumed. Now, correct that we all know what that word does. All right, that they wanted her to do it in character, and if you listen to the way she did it, it appears exactly like she did it in character. All right, that's the only excuse you have for the way that Roseanne did it.
Now, Roseanne had a show a couple years back called Roseanne's Nuts. And it was kind of a reality show of her and her, I don't think husband, but we'll say partner, living in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And the local government had like a celebrity baseball game, and they asked her to sing the national anthem. And she about had a nervous breakdown about it because of that incident.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And she rehearsed for weeks with a vocal coach and everything to make sure she didn't screw this one up.
Yeah. Now, there have been other. Do you remember Carl Lewis doing it?
But I was going to go back to the point, though, because someone, I forget if it was, which one of you two made the point of, is there something about women singing the national anthem?
Yeah, Mike made it.
And so Mike did, okay. And so, but when this thing happened, NPR specifically hit on, does anybody have to apologize for how they sing the national anthem when we have the recording of Olympic champion Carl Lewis singing the national anthem?
All right, Mike, do you remember that?
I do not.
Well, let's take a listen, shall we?
Movie is a oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh. I'll make up for it now. Oh, the land of the free.
He forgot the words. Not only did he sing it horribly, but he forgot the words.
Forgetting the words happens a lot more often than
it should.
Well, yeah. A couple of times I've watched events where they've skipped an entire verse.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he made up. He moved verses around.
Oh no, I know. I get that. But forgetting the words is I hate to say commonplace, but it seems like 9 times out of 10 when there's a controversy about the national anthem, maybe not 9 times, maybe 7 out of 10, somebody forgets the words or messes up the words.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Right? And the others are when they pull a Fergie and try and do this. I get you want to make the performance your own.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to put your own little funk on it. But there's a difference between putting a little bit of a twist, carrying one note a little bit longer, and
changing the tempo.
Changing it to be the backdrop for a porn.
Let's try this one. Let's see if you can figure out who this is.
Oh, the red ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Flag was still there. Oh, say does that stars.
Now, for those that couldn't, that was Steven Tyler. Not a horrible job.
Now, go back.
But, yeah.
Because there was one in there that I was actually curious about.
All right.
There was the Roseanne Barr auto-tuned.
Oh, God.
Singing the Star Spangled
I don't know that I wanted.
It was further down that page.
I'm just going to research for it. So, let's see here. Roseanne Barr. God, man, I can't. Well, there it is. Okay. So let's see what Roseanne does auto-tune. Oh,
that's not very good.
No, thank you.
Don't.
That's not like auto-tune the news.
Okay, can we
Yeah.
can we just go to some breaking news here?
Yes. We love breaking news.
Stacey Dash has filed the applications to run for Congress in California.
Yes.
Can we not, please? Because
unless you're from New Zealand, that does not make any sense.
What? No. No,
I just don't.
You know.
Okay. You know what? I don't even want to give that. I don't want to dignify that with a discussion because she's just she's so far out there. Neither the blacks or the whites are claiming her. That she's from some distant country now. But let's talk about one other thing here before we get to the movie reviews.
Yeah.
And a trailer was released this week for a new Netflix original.
Yes.
And this may be one of the first reboots that I am actually excited about.
Well, I'm interested in it too, but for a completely different reason. Because I think one of our previous staff members, or current, I don't know what his status is really, because I haven't heard from him in a long time, seems to be moonlighting. And considering his absenteeism, that's the only explanation I can find.
So, yes. So, Flash auditioned.
Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Flash, you can look through our YouTube channel, and Flash is the Cylon that Mike dug up in his backyard and is currently powered by our previous Powwow power supply. He's, so, but last time I heard he was going to go into impressionism and tap dancing, but evidently...
Well, he after the unsuccessful karaoke bar tour,
yeah,
he kind of was laying low, but he's trying to get into voiceover work because he can record that from anywhere, and with internal processing, he doesn't need a sound booth. He can basically just record the file as he speaks. But what we're talking about is Netflix is rebooting Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Now, I have two issues with the trailer that I would like to point out.
Okay.
The first is there is somebody in this cast that I have no idea who she is because she is a completely different race than every other child and family member. So I'm not sure where that falls in. She may be an adopted child. I don't know. The other is Parker Posey, who is playing Dr. Smith. So they have done a Battlestar Galactica, and they have made one of the main characters from male to female.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure how well that's going to work because that is a snivelly type of character.
Yeah.
Well, she can play that kind of character. But this is going to really change the dynamic that Smith had with Will.
Yes, but that's probably a good thing. As someone pointed out, in today's world, he looks a bit like a pedophile.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. We can't really do that.
Very true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if you do watch the... but
No.
We don't have...
No, he doesn't. He does not.
But we don't have Joey Tribbiani in this one. And I really wanted to see Matt LeBlanc back.
It'd be great if he did like a cameo, if he was the one that assigned...
Yeah.
No, the one who needs a cameo.
Or did like the countdown to launch or something.
And the monkey pushed the button.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
The actor who needs the cameo is the actor who didn't get a cameo in the movie.
All right.
That's Bill Mumy.
Okay, but the original was so long ago, I wouldn't have recognized any of them to do cameos in the movie, so...
Yes.
You know...
Bill Mumy, who's probably best known as Lanier in Babylon 5.
Okay.
Is the original Will Robinson.
All right. So
I gotta... All right, so the cast here.
So they went with... Wow,
all right, so that's Judy Robinson. Okay.
So you're saying...
So she is a Robinson.
Yeah, Will's sister.
All right, so exactly how did Maureen and John have a biracial daughter? That has to be an adoption or something. I don't know how they're going to explain that one. That'll be interesting to see how they explain that.
I'm sure they will.
But I'll tell you what, they did load up the beefcake in this movie. Ignacio Cerricio. Did you see that? Plays Don West.
Oh, Lord. He was on General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. Oh, God.
They got their whole female audience right there. They just got 50 million women to watch this.
So this is what... All right, so Parker Posey, yes. If the sniveling, whining... Well, think about her performance in Blade Trinity. She was very whiny and snivelly there. So I think she can pull the part off. I'm just not 100% sure about the dynamic here. I mean, they are scientists, so maybe test tube mix-up. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be.
Parker Posey is one of my favorite actresses, so I am looking forward to this.
So, did you see Blade Trinity?
Barely. Most of it, I mean, I've seen Parker Posey in a whole ton of the Christopher Guest movies. That's what I've seen most of her in. Yeah,
is that like Little Miss Sunshine and?
No, it's Best in Show.
Oh Lord!
All the movies from Spinal Tap on, because Reiner did the first Spinal Tap, and then Christopher Guest himself took over the rest of them.
Okay, because the first Spinal Tap, the rest of those movies, I'm just like...
I was waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Downplay. Yes, but I'm sorry, I love all of those.
They're like the American version of British TV for me. I can't.
All right. Do we want to get started a little early with the movies?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do...
All right. With that said...
Yeah, let's get sued by HBO. All right.
Can't get sued for static.
Let's do... Where's the Money first? Do you mind if I go ahead and...
No, Where's the Money's perfectly fine. We'll let Colin go first because he wrote his notes.
Go right ahead.
Oh, they're not notes. It's a script.
All right. Colin wrote a script.
So, in April 2016, some white, of course, Hollywood producers were sitting around Hollywood, and here's a transcript of their conversation. Producer 1, hey, did you hear the news about Disney making a Black Panther movie next year? Producer 2, yeah, they think they're going to have a 4-quadrant there. Producer 3, yeah, I think it's going to be a failure because the budget's going to be huge. Producer 1, oh, I actually have an idea about that. What if the budget was smaller, like 1.5, 2 or 3? What do you mean? Like one of those Asylum-style pieces of shit stains? Or what? No. I was thinking actually more of a comedy with white people and black people in it. Kind of a mixed thing. 2 or 3. How do we do this mixed thing? 2 or 1. Well, first we start with the standard guy with a father who's gone, who has a gym and needs to save the gym, and the father's gone, and but there's money. There's money stuff somewhere. Oh, producer 2 says, "Oh, I'm not really seeing the quadrant. Was it? The money is now in a frat house." Oh, okay, I get it. So, standard frat house scenario for the white cast. Got it. So, 2 or 3. So, standard 2 stupid friends and an old mentor. Producer 1. No, I was thinking of having him, the main character, be stupid as well. So, just one stupid friend, female interest, and a mom. 2 or 2. Oh, mom card. So that means that the father actually has to be still living but in jail, right? Producer 1. Oh, yeah, of course. So, a couple years later, 2 or 2. Hey, have you seen Joel around? 2 or 3. No, ever since Where the Money failed, I haven't seen him. Producer 2. Oh, yeah, you mean the No Quadrant film. Producer 3. Yeah, it's, the whites got scared off by all the language, and all the blacks didn't like it because, well, it wasn't very black movies. And Producer 2. Yeah. You think maybe it would have helped if the entire production and directing staff wasn't just a bunch of white guys making stuff up? Yeah, probably not. I mean, yeah, Black Panther is making a ton of movie with their entirely black staff, but that's probably just chance. So that's my little transcript of how this movie was put together. Basically, I put it down to this. The N-word is used a lot in this movie, but it was written and directed by white guys. So isn't this technically a bunch of white people making in-jokes over and over again by making black people read the lines? I found the entire thing very uncomfortable. There are also a couple things about this movie that I want to come back on, but I want the other two to be able to note the things that I may have noted. But yeah, basically this is standard script number 8B and combined with 6D. Okay. And that's all there is to this movie. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a puke. However, I am going to say that from now on, there is now a category less than puke.
Okay.
Which maybe someday we'll find a movie that qualifies for the I can't remember the name of the stupid thing, but the hot tub full of puke.
Okay.
I think the memorial hot tub category is something that may have to be pulled out sometime in the future.
Mike, I'll go next if you don't care, because you usually wrap us up pretty good.
Go ahead.
All right. Where's the Money is a simple story about a boy and his mother who are at the risk of losing their family business and therefore also losing the neighborhood they so dearly love. Sounds like a fairly simple formula for a movie, right? Wrong. Somehow the team behind this movie decided that they needed to spice it up a bit, and instead of making it a real drama, they'd go comedy instead. Where's the Money off the bat asks you to make a pretty substantial leap of faith and put all expectations of reality aside. How does it do that? By asking you to believe that a convict can, number one, have physical contact, as in have them sit on their lap during visitation. 2, that they can in detail explain their crimes and where they hid the money from those crimes exactly without the guard who's having 5 feet away report it. And finally, that phone call privileges in jail are doled out like ecstasy pills at a rave. Now, once you've set aside reality because of those factors, it's much easier to believe the rest of the movie. So Dad knows Son is in trouble, calls him up, and after extorting a bedtime story reading, tells Sonny where he hid the $1 million from the heist that got him landed in the pokey. Only one problem with that. The crack house is now a frat house. I'm not giving anything away here. This is all in the trailer. Now, not knowing anything about South Central, I can't really tell you the likelihood of a former crack house being turned into a 5-star rich kids fraternity house. But that sounds like something the Property Brothers should start doing immediately if it's true. So after trying to break into the house like a bad ripoff of Fire Marshal Bill, lead character Dell, played by Andrew Batchelor, decides the only way to get into the frat house is to rush it, and the hilarity ensues. Other frat members which create all this racially tension-based comedy are Brock, a real bro's bro, played by Devin Werkheisler of Ned's Declassified from Nickelodeon Channel, Eddie, played by Logan Paul, formerly famous, now infamous YouTube celebrity who decided showing Japan's suicide forest and a dead body online was a good idea, and Clark, played by Josh Brenner, whom most of you will know from Silicon Valley and his cameos on Big Bang Theory. The, I assume, typically hazing and pledging things happen, and what do you know, Dell gets accepted. However, the timeline for finding the money is accelerated by Dell's uncle and the cohort of the crime, Uncle Leon, played by none other than President Camacho himself, Terry Crews. So Dell finds a way to get the money, and good old Uncle Leon then takes it from him as expected. Also, during the series of events, we see appearances by Method Man to lend a little ghetto authenticity to the film. The ending to this film leaves a lot to be desired, though, and I feel like they just phoned it in with it being extremely transparent it would happen all along. Now, you would think all this means I didn't enjoy the movie, and you'd be wrong. Most of the jokes had some humor, and honestly, I thought the characters were pretty good. As weird as it sounds, especially surprising for me was that my expectations for Logan Paul were actually exceeded. Granted, they were very low to start. But if you're looking for someone to play a dumb bro, then has YouTube got the guy for you? In all, this movie met or slightly exceeded what I thought it would be, and so I'm going to give this a grin. Just slightly above Mad, because while I wouldn't really like to watch it again, it's better than a lot of the other comedies out there, especially for those with primarily no-name folks in them. So there you go, I gave it a grin.
Wow, you're better man than me. All right. Look, I want to start by saying that before I even pressed play, my expectations were extremely low for this movie. Very low. Coming from the man who liked the cobbler, okay? The main character, Dollar Store Marlon Wayans, not even Damon Wayans, seriously is just going to make me mad by the end of this movie. I know it. And it turns out that his claim to fame was he was the most popular person on Vine. They don't tell you that because Vine failed, if you remember. Logan Paul. I cannot believe that he hasn't been in any other bad movie we reviewed. Why is the hood... So the frat boys run into Method Man and his posse sitting in the Cadillac. How come the hood on Method Man's Cadillac wasn't closed? All right, it wasn't. It wasn't closed all the way. Where the heck is Exhibit to fix this and pimp that ride? All right, if you're gonna do all of the racial stereotypes that this movie is doing, pimp the ride. White boy trying to talk Ebonics to Method Man. This is seriously the quintessential reverse racist movie that nobody should ever watch. And at this point, Terry Crews better show up soon. I don't have any more beans. So I'm going to have to start keeping track when we get a new penalty here. But
yeah.
A fucking hot tub full of puke and other bodily fluids. One more scene like this and I'm tapping out. I'm that close to tapping out. But thank God for Terry Crews. Logan Paul doing the stuff with the blow-up doll at the auction. All I'm going to say is the fact that I saw the battery of the power drill during the one part just shows that they need to hire me to just watch final edits to find little stuff like this and say, go back and reshoot that. Digitally get that out of there. Somebody go in with Photoshop and clean that up, please.
You think they can afford digital editing?
The $1.5 million had to go somewhere.
The white boy starts freestyling, and Dollar Store Marlon Wayans is getting all into it. Like, oh, white boy got some flow, yeah. Oh yeah. Dude went into the hot tub to hide, into the puke tub. Oh no, wait, that's right. He cleaned it, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming he did, because when they threw the cummerbund to cover the guy's face, he didn't comment about the smell, just that it was wet. So I'm going to assume they cleaned the tub. But then he starts licking the rat. Officially the dumbest movie ever. Gotta be a smarter way to find money in a wall than just randomly hitting everywhere. Up until the whole face-off scene between Method Man and Terry Crews at the very end, this movie has been more annoying than Naked was. But the debate scene may have actually said that, nope. The AC unit, come down, kill, nope, sorry. Movie ruined. And a twist of irony. Even though there was a hot tub full of puke in this movie, I'm not giving this movie a puke. I am, however, going to give this a verp. Mildly entertaining. And surprisingly, Logan Paul, who I thought was going to be the one that I was going to hate the most, was not the most annoying character in this movie. And may have actually been one of the more likable characters in this movie. Next to the kid that kept messing with the guy at the gym. But that here nor there. And I have to give Logan Paul respect for being able to control his hoverboard so well. So, it's a verb. Who picked this movie?
I did.
But
I'm damn so...
You didn't point out, I thought, was the biggest problem with this movie.
Okay.
As far as, things like the battery and...
Go ahead, lay it on me.
There are two pieces to an air conditioning system. There's the piece inside that's like a coil that goes inside the ductwork and removes the heat, the heat goes into it, and then it goes to the part outside.
Condenser units outside
the building, and releases the heat into the outside. The part of the air conditioner that's in the plot, hovering in the ceiling of the place, and then falls at the end, is the part that's supposed to be outside the building.
Yeah, but...
Not
an AC tech, so I don't...
just saying, you'll never see...
There is a slight continuity problem there, yes.
You look at any house, like your house, your air conditioning unit is not inside the house. It's outside the house.
You're correct. The A coil is inside.
Yes.
Above the furnace, traditionally.
The giant
and
box.
then your condenser is outside. In a traditional manner. Not always, though.
Unless they were using it as a heater.
Just say, not always. Sometimes I have seen them mounted in attics and things like that.
But like I said, my biggest problem with this movie is that it was written and directed by a bunch of white people. I believe from their names, according to IMDb, a bunch of white Jews wrote this. It has nothing to do with them being Jewish, but the idea that you have a whole bunch of characters, like I said, in many different words, and just look at it going, this just doesn't feel right.
Okay, so here, Mama Blair writes in with this. So how did the money get into the frat house? They did kind of cover this, but somebody tell me what flop houses or crack houses actually have all the sheetrock, and you're going to tell me the frat moved in and didn't replace all the sheetrock when they moved in?
Well, not only that, but you saw how big that box was, right?
Yeah.
Or how deep the box was. Are there basement walls 3 foot thick of dead space? I mean, because I know there's a basement wall behind me. I'm lucky if it's 4 inches deep before I hit the foundation. All right,
Yep.
I couldn't mount the TV that's by Colin with using standard depth bolts because I was hitting the brick.
So to answer it completely, at the time of it was a bank robbery. I didn't even get into this. If there is a bank robbery out there where they stole $1 million from a bank,
yep,
and that money is not found, that's a famous bank robbery. And there's going to be a lot of people trying to figure out where that $1 million is. But anyway, the $1 million was hidden in a flop house. And then later, that flop house is part of gentrification gets turned into a frat house for a very, very rich college.
But it would have been bulldozed to the ground and started and built anew.
Yes, it would have.
All right. That's how it would have happened.
There's lots of things.
Unless it was a historical building.
There's no part of this movie's plot that makes any sense.
No, there's a lot of... All right, so let's move on to the next movie.
If you want to get the money back, you wait for all of the students in the fraternity to go to school, and then you go into the house and...
Yes, because an entire frat all has the same class
No, that
schedule.
doesn't happen.
I know.
Yeah, no.
You're right.
But for this movie, you wait until
movie, it would have worked.
Wait
until
until
expelled.
They had their event,
Yeah.
which shouldn't have been at the house, but of course was at the house. And anyway.
All right, moving along. Movie number 2.
Yes.
The Saint, also from Netflix. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'll go third.
I'll go first. I don't care. All right. The Saint, 2017, not to be confused with the Val Kilmer one. Everyone should be familiar with this series, whether it's the original TV series or the multiple movie remakes. But just to recap, we had the TV series starring Sir Roger Moore from 1962 to 1969, Return of the Saint from 1979 to 1978 with Ian Ogilvy.
Wait, what?
Return of the Saint from 1979 from 1978 to 1979. Sorry, I wrote those backwards. With Ian Ogilvy. Then in the 1997 movie starring Val Kilmer, and now a made-for-TV movie version released on Netflix starring Adam Rayner. So that's a lot of talent to try to live up to, right? Well, first thing you have to do is to lower your expectations, because made-for-TV movie automatically means that you aren't going to get a huge Hollywood explosions or star power. That also means that the acting has to be very good, and the script can't dilly-dally around or have dead areas in it, because the audience will just flip the channel. So does this version of The Saint live up to what I expected? In a short word, yes. You see, I have a very fond memory of Val Kilmer in this role, so I don't expect someone to fill those shoes. And, well, for me, Roger Moore will first and foremost be James Bond, so my sights were adjusted, and I really just wanted a fun spy movie that would entertain me. This actually does that. It provides enough of a backstory of the main character to make you invested in him, but keeps the majority of the action in the present. The story also moves along at a quick enough pace so I wasn't tempted to stare at my phone during it and become distracted. To me, Adam Rayner did a very good job, and maybe due to his cross-English-American heritage, he's able to give an American swagger to a British charm, which is the exact same thing I liked about Val Kilmer when he played this role. Now, the one thing I did like that was additional in this version was a Moneypenny/M type role in the form of Eliza Dushku, who played Patricia Holm, a perfect, not quite sidekick for the Saint who had tech savvy, but also could kick ass when needed. Honestly, this was just a fun little movie. They could have named it just about anything, and I would have been entertained by it. And that's really my final thought about the reviews. There are many who put this movie down because they tried to put it in the same box as the other Saint projects. Maybe they shouldn't have called it that, and it would have been more well received. But they did, and as with the Cloverfield paradox from last show, many movies, we can't change that decision. Unlike last show, though, I find this to be a great success in just being a fun short movie that I might possibly watch again next time I'm sick. So with that, this gets a TV smile from me. All right, Mike.
I'll just go through my points here. I don't have a whole lot on it, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty sure that the military guys in the beginning came from the same part of the world as Mr. Shatade. And for those who must know, that's Crapsylvania. Does anyone else find it funny that the funding issue is in Nigeria and the ruler is a prince? Anybody else catch the irony there? Or it was just me? The mom has me intrigued. She had a Russian accent in 2012. Now she speaks perfect English. So where is she from? I had to pause the movie to go look this up. She's from New York. Impressive. 17 shots. Yep, I went back and counted. 17 shots from a 9mm handgun. I don't know what's worse, the fact that he shot 17 shots, or that not a single one hit the guy with the gun in the helicopter. Simon Templar is a better thief than a shot. That's certain. And this was actually not a made-for-TV movie. This was a pilot for a proposed reboot of the TV show. Kind of puts things in perspective a little bit. Who knew that shaving gel could melt steel when you hit it with a taser? Possibly my best cheap effect, my favorite cheap effect yet in any of these movies. And who knew he could slide that far on frozen floor tiles? I can't even slide that far on ice. Did not see the mother turning on everyone like that. But I absolutely loved seeing her fight Elijah Dushku. And I watched that scene a couple of times over again and even made popcorn. So, Puke the Shnikes, I'm giving this a smile. It's a much better remake than the Val Kilmer Crap Fest.
Yeah.
But there were two things wrong with it that kept me from rating it higher. The first, Elijah Dushku wasn't in the thing enough. Her as the techno associate didn't do anything for me. If you're going to have her in a show, I need her kicking ass more. Second is that this was an attempt to be a TV show. And I guess it could have worked. You could have followed Templar trying to take down the Brotherhood and all that. I just don't think it would have done well. I don't think the chemistry between the cast was there. It was a perfectly good made-for-TV movie. You know, I think this would have been a great NBC Saturday Night at the Movies kind of thing. But I think if they had just gone in with the expectations it was going to be a movie and just a movie, they may have actually been able to focus a little more on the script and it would have been a little bit better. Bottom line, I give it a smile.
All right, Colin?
So, as I said when this first came up, 4 weeks ago, 2 shows ago, anyway, so I actually had recently watched this one just before it came up. And so I was, I wanted to talk about it, so it was great that it came up. And I'm going to jump ahead to say, just for your, so you don't have to wait for me to say it, this is a smile for me as well.
Oh, good. Hey, we all agree on one.
Right.
So, but here's what I want to talk about here with this thing. Just one small thing on top of what Mike said. Not only was this a pilot, it was a failed pilot. It was not picked up, and it was never intended to be released. It was only released for one reason, and that is it turned out to be the last thing that Roger Moore ever did before his death. So when he died, they decided that they needed to release this so that people could see his last performance. Other than that, they had no plans to release this even as a TV movie. It was just going to be one of the many failed pilots that never get seen by anybody. What I want to talk about, though, real quick is The Saint. So, Roger Moore, so forth. But the first Saint the Saint that I've actually seen the most of is Vincent Price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Vincent Price played the Saint in the radio days. If you're on Sirius Radio, listen to Radio Classics, they do the Saint a lot. And it's interesting to me the differences between the different versions of the Saint. And because I would love to see them try again and get a real Saint show and how I think that should be. Okay? And so if you listen to the Vincent Price versions, everybody knows the Saint. It's not a secret person no one's ever heard of. He is a well-known person who tends to steal money from bad people.
Yeah.
And then give it back to the people it was stolen from, minus 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he likes his money.
Yeah.
So but it goes through the radio show does lots of just the Saint going around and helping people, and people know who he is, which is great. These versions, like this one, they start bringing in all these secret societies, the actual Knights Templar, and stuff like that. And I think that's way too much stuff on top of the basic Saint mythos. I think that the Saint would be much better going back to the roots of someone that people know of and know that he likes to steal from other people, but is himself a basically decent guy. And it's kind of like an A-Team type thing,
Okay.
And I think that would be more interesting. I think it'd be more interesting to have a show without trying to do Knights Templar and secret societies and, a secret guy that no one's ever heard of. It'd be more interesting to say people do know who the Saint is and go back to that idea. But this basic thing, I liked the acting. I liked, what's his name?
You talking about the guy who actually
Adam
played
Rayner.
Adam
Rayner, I thought he did a good job. I thought the FBI people weren't quite cast correctly.
Yeah.
But if it was just Adam Rayner and Eliza Dushku, and you let Eliza Dushku do more stuff throughout the rest of the series, I think this could have been an interesting show. But that's mostly because I like her. And I think the first quarter of this show, the part where he was actually in with trying to steal the money from the Russians, that part of it was amazing. And if they'd done more of that, this would have been a great show.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we all enjoyed it for the most part. All right. So now is exactly.
And to your point, if Eliza Dushku was less of the techie and that third guy that they brought in was the actual techie, I think it would have worked better. And I agree with you that the FBI agents didn't work for me.
No, because the one guy that they started at the beginning that you started to get invested in, then they just kind of like forgot about him for half of the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they brought in somebody else who had a long-time grudge and had always been looking to find this guy. All right, why didn't you bring him in from the beginning? I didn't like that. So anyway, all right, now it is time to pick the shows that we're going to watch for the next episode. So Mike, I will pull up the random number generator. You will tell me what the values are that I need to plug into it. So 1 to what?
32.
1 to 32 is the number. So let's warm it up here and roll a few die. All right, 15.
Oh, no.
What is it?
So undercover.
So undercover?
It's a Miley Cyrus movie.
Oh, my goodness. And 26.
And 26 is...
What?
Bitcoin Heist.
What? I don't think I put that one in there. I don't know.
I don't remember Bitcoin. I remember Coin Heist.
So, yeah, we already
Bitcoin
watched.
heist.
So, to catch the world's most wanted thief, an Interpol agent assembles a team of elite hackers to plan the ultimate cryptocurrency heist. You know what? This may have good timing considering that the bottom's falling out of cryptocurrency. So, you know, maybe it'll be okay. You never know. I doubt it. But 80% of Google users like that movie, so. Of course, it was released in Vietnam, which always, you know, always is where I look for movies to be released first.
And this is, let's see, today is the 20th.
Meanwhile, So Undercover was initially released in Bahrain. So I don't know which one's worse.
Yeah, I don't either. I have a feeling that we're...
Now, wait a second. I don't know. Okay, so we know why Miley Cyrus is in So Undercover because Tish Cyrus was one of the producers.
Or is that the other way around? That's probably a way for Mom to get money.
Could be. Although Letitia Jean Cyrus is an American actress and producer. She produced The Last Song, LOL, and So Undercover. So those are...
oh, see, that's not her mom.
No, it's just her...
That's her stepmom.
Yeah. Well, it says children. Miley, Noah, Brandy, Brayson, and Trace.
They're both Netflix. Let's just are they both still available? Please say no. Please say no.
I don't know. Honestly, let's look here. Were they were both Netflix movies?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look here.
Which one? I'll look up Bitcoin Heist. You look up.
So Undercover is still available. PG-13.
Bitcoin Heist is as well. Hold on a minute. Wait.
Yep.
I want to make sure this is in English.
You want to make sure Bitcoin Heist is it? I do. Oh, I do too. Oh, Jeremy Piven is in So Undercover. He plays an FBI agent. That's probably the only reason I picked this movie.
Yeah. Thanks for admitting that.
Yeah. Not because of Miley. But, you know.
Whoa, and Michael Malley? Which Michael Malley is that?
That is the Michael... Well, I don't know. I would say it's the kid Michael Malley.
Nope. Disqualifying Bitcoin Heist.
Is it subtitled? Will we have to read the whole movie? All right. Yeah. We're not. I'm not reading a movie. All right. So then, number 8, Mike.
Welcome to the Jungle on Netflix.
Welcome to what?
Action comedy.
Oh, by the way, there was a movie. I don't see it.
Oh, we're batting 1,000 here.
It's only available on DVD now.
Okay, so that's out.
That's out. 15.
Not even gonna disqualify that one. Can't do 15. Try again.
32.
Oh, I actually just watched this one already. Goon, Last of the Enforcers.
Oh, okay. I haven't.
That sounds much better.
Yeah. Oh, that's the sequel.
Yep.
Now, is it? Do you think it's going to be required for me to watch the first one first? Because it's back. It's back on Netflix now.
Well, yeah, it might be.
So should we just watch Goon?
Should we just watch Goon?
That's up to you guys. You can watch Goon if you want. All right, let me give you the quick synopsis for Goon, okay?
All right.
And then you guys can decide if you want to do this or not. Happy Gilmore on skates.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with it because it's got Stifler. So it doesn't.
Let's just do it.
All right, so we'll do Goon.
All right.
We'll just do the original then. We'll do Goon. Because, like I said, I haven't watched it. So, all right, so we'll do Goon. Okie dokie. So that's Undercover and Goon. We're watching two supposed comedies. By the way, for those interested, Harry and the Hendersons, it's back on Netflix. So, all right. So those are the two that we're going to watch for the next show. Let me see here. Let me grab that up there. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps up this evening. Don't you? All right, you've been listening to PTR Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether it was YouTube, whether it was Facebook, whether it was on our podcast. Don't forget, you can always check out all the ways to watch the show, interact with the staff, ptrradio.com, or just about every social media channel out there. Just look for PTR Radio. We're also available on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, you name it. We're out there. All of that, ptrradio.com is where you're going to find all the information out. We will be back with you in 2 weeks. That's right. On March 12th is when we'll be back. And, hopefully we look forward to your chiming into the show. We always want your feedback. And, don't forget, you can call in, leave a message for the show. We would much rather have you than a conference call bridge, just leaving us horrible wait music. So 877-787-8822 is normally the number to call. Just leave us a message. We'll take it. And then maybe you'll get played on the next radio show. You never know. I think that's all we've got to say right now. With that said, by the way, if you're in the Springfield area, Central Illinois area, and you want to support the Honor Flight, which is able to take veterans of foreign wars to go see the monuments in Washington, D.C., I will be doing a celebrity pancake breakfast at Applebee's on March 10th. So come out there, and I will be gladly serving you your breakfast. So, as always, pictures and autographs given for free. All right. With that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
All right. Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.